All right, for number 26, it's just a multiplication problem, so we don't have to worry about changing the second fraction here. But what we have to do is we have to factor everything. So is there a common factor with the... Okay, well, even more than that, it's 10. You take the biggest factor for the number. What about with the x's? I have x squared and x. So I could take 10x out, and I'm left with x minus 2. Now in the denominator, I have a 40 and an 80. What's the number I can take out? 40. And then I have x squared. So I have x minus 2 again. Now over here, I have a 16 and an 80. Now is it going to be 16 or is it going to be 8? I think 16 can do that. 16 times 5 I think is 80. So 16, I could take out a 16 and then I'll take out an x squared. And I'll be left with x plus 5. And now, with 6 and 30, I could take out a 6. And then x plus 5, because I can't take out anything else. Sure. Alright, so now, start dividing out what we can. And I'll use a different color for this. I could divide out the x minus 2 and the x minus 2. I could divide out the x plus 5 and the x plus 5. Now, does 10 divide into 40?
Yep.
Yep. So there's 4 left over down there. The x and the x squared. So this guy's gone, and I'm left with an x here. Now, 6 and 16, 2 divides into each one, right? 8 over 3. And to just kind of clean this stuff up, since I'm dividing out a lot, what's left over in the top? 8x squared over 4 times 3 times x. And if you want to think of x squared as something else, that's really x times x. So I can divide out those two x's. I could divide it 4 into 8 how many times? 2. So I'll get 2x. Because it was 8x squared. Right there was 8x squared. And I just broke it up 8 times x times x. So it'd be easier to divide out. So you get 2x over 3. So you factor everything and then divide out what you can. And you keep dividing and dividing and dividing until you can't divide anymore. And so this whole big nonsense stuff, craziness, ends up just being 2x over 3. Yeah. Well, also it said find the exclusion points, or the points where it's excluded, where the denominators are equal to 0. If that's 0, what you would say is x squared is equal to 0, so x equals 0. Then you'd say x minus 2 is equal to 0. Add a 2 to both sides, so x is equal to 2. And then you get x plus 5 is equal to 0. Subtract your 5, x is equal to negative 5. Now, the answers put everything into a set. And the set notation is, this is called a brace. Just like we have parentheses and we have brackets. Those are parentheses, these are brackets, these are braces. What was that? That's a 2. Yeah. So I would put -5, 0, and 2. And all this does is it says I have a set of numbers here that are going to make this undefined. And those are your excluded values. And I get that from here, and from there. Once everything's factored out, those are going to give me my excluded values. Does it make sense? Now, these problems can look overwhelming, but if you just kind of take one piece at a time, just worry about that guy first. And then maybe just worry about this guy next. If you go one step at a time and slow it down as much as you can, it'll make the problem a heck of a lot easier. There might be a lot going on, but it'll make it a lot easier.